Do. I wanna be like you. I wanna walk like you, talk like you do.
Shoo-dabbity-doo. I wanna be like you. Alrighty.
That's not a good walking.
No, I was just singing. I like singing.
Singing's one word for it, I suppose.
Wow. You're a dick. Hello everybody and welcome to Working Title Productions. I'm Ben, he's Ed, and we're back for another episode of Movie Talk. And this week, we're in a good mood, aren't we? Because last night we got to see The Jungle Book for the very first time. And oh my god, that was just so much fun. I had a ball. It was amazing. Where do we even begin? Edward, what were you expecting going into this movie?
Well, I was actually expecting pretty good things because I'd been getting really good reviews and I'd seen Jeremy Jahns and just generally mainstream critics just praise everything that it was doing. And I was like, oh,
Yeah, definitely.
sweet, because I hadn't really been following it. I knew it was coming out along with the Tarzan live action reboot, which doesn't look near as good as this.
I haven't been following that at all.
It just doesn't. Anyway.
We'll focus on this film.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, sweet, it's actually really good. And I hadn't read up much about it, so I didn't know it was all CG, and I didn't know that all these great voice actors were in it. Well, not necessarily voice actors, but just actors doing voice work were in it. And I was just really pleasantly surprised. It was really, really good. All the actors did bring their A game, lending their voices.
Yeah, definitely. And some of them who have no experience as voice acting. Oh, maybe they do. But not traditionally voice actors either. These are mainstream Hollywood actors.
No. So, that was really good.
I'd seen a little more than you after D23. I wasn't at D23, obviously. I'd heard about the footage, I'd heard about how they'd filmed it all in this studio in Los Angeles, but they just make the jungle come to life. I'd heard about this kid, how he was so confident and outgoing on set, and how he wasn't daunted by this task at all.
Poor kid. Had to act in front of a green screen.
Yeah, had to act in front of a green screen. Oh my, we'll get to that. This movie just stands up to any of the greatest expectations anyone might have had. I didn't have many expectations going into this. I haven't watched the original Jungle Book in years. Not as long as you have, but in quite a long time. I just wasn't so interested. I'm like, I don't know how you can make this work as a live action film. They make it work. It's so interesting. And it's different either. If you've seen the animated Jungle Book movies, it's just going to be a live action remake.
It's pretty dark, actually.
It's an adaptation. It is not the same story. It's all... But, that's the thing. People can say this is a very dark and serious movie. This movie is serious, but it's not Dark Knight levels dark either.
No.
This is a movie that manages to be serious and fun at the same time, and you could feel it when we went out. There was only us, our three friends, and a handful of other people in the theatre. It was a very empty theatre. We saw it at a very awkward time.
So good.
But we came out buzzing anyway. We didn't need the atmosphere of a full theatre because the movie was just so good on its own. We all came out and everybody's singing.
It helps when the credits are Christopher Walken singing I Want to Be Like You.
Yeah, pretty much.
That helps.
It definitely helps. Actually, that's one of the few critiques I have with the film. We should probably go over the critiques first, given there are so few of them, really. As great as the songs are, I thought they were really jarring within the film. So I'm sitting there really invested in this scene, and then all of a sudden people start singing. I'm just okay. And then after a while I'm like, yeah, this is definitely a fun song, and I have fun with the song, but yeah, I just couldn't help but be pulled out of that experience in those moments. So there are really only two songs in the movie.
I thought Bare Necessities fit well for the scene that was in. I thought Bare Necessities was fine, but I Want to Be Like You did kind of come out of nowhere.
Yeah, especially given the general tone and direction of King Louis.
Yeah, because King Louis is straight up.
He's
straight.
He's not a villain.
He's a villain. He's the secondary villain of this story. He's the Act 2 villain, basically.
Yeah. I suppose so.
And because I haven't seen the original Jungle Book in a really, really long time, so I'd forgotten that King Louis wasn't necessarily a good person.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, fantastic. Christopher Walken voicing a gorilla, perfect. I'm in. I'm sold. But then as I was watching, I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
You're actually not a good guy in this story. That's
No.
interesting. And then that all goes downhill from there for
Mowgli.
what King Louis wants to just
yeah.
what King Louis wants to get from Mowgli.
Yeah, definitely. Are there any other criticisms? Sometimes.
Yes, sometimes the kid's acting was like...
You can tell he's in front of a green screen.
Yeah.
He's talking to Bagheera, and his arms are just flat by his side.
Yeah.
And he's just sprouting monologue. But then, like, there are other times it feels genuine, even though he's got nothing to bounce off of. Like, it's only a couple of scenes where you can tell that the kid is staring at a green screen. And every now and again, this CG is just a little too shiny. Like, that's the general aesthetic of the Jungle Book. You don't want Avatar Jungle. You want something a little more lively and engaging. But every now and again, it's like someone had just put gloss over it. It wasn't quite brought up to scratch. So, yeah, every now and again that happens. But we've said it before, the greatest compliment you can ever give computer animators, animators in general, anyone who adds CG effects into a film, the greatest compliment you can give them is that you don't even realize their effects are there. And even though subconsciously in the back of my head, I knew that this was all green screen, I knew that it was all CGI, it didn't look like it, it didn't feel like it. I was, for the most part, I was just sitting there in the movie completely immersed in this world. It felt very, very real. It felt very engaging. It was just a lot of fun.
Apart from the scenes where it was very much stylized on purpose. Like, there are scenes where it reaches, like, Zack Snyder levels of like, stylization.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, this is, like,
Definitely.
this is very much
and
CG.
Those are the few moments that pull you out
there
of the film.
There are only two scenes. But they don't pull me out, like, because, like, they make sense in the film for why they're so stylized.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, the first one is, like, yep, straight up, like, this makes sense for it to be stylized, because it's, like, like, are we getting spoilers? Will we get spoilers at some point? Can we get spoilers now? I think we're ready for spoilers. Yeah, we're going to spoilers now.
You've had enough time.
Yeah.
Spoiler free. Get out of here if you're looking for a spoiler free review. That's it. We gave you our spoiler free review. It's good. Go see it. It's a lot of fun. We already covered our critiques. Like, they're nearly over. There's so much to enjoy. Ed, go. Spoil.
Yeah, because, like, the first scene where it's, like, hyper stylized is, like, straight up, like, a flashback, but almost hallucination sequence.
Yeah.
With Scarlett Johansson's character. And
sorry.
and yes, that's, like, obviously, like, supposed to be really, really stylized. And the other time is when Mowgli gets to the human village for the first time, right towards the end of the film, and you can imagine that he's so emotional and, like, so afraid that, like, seeing all this stuff for the first time is just, like, completely mind-boggling. And that's the perspective we see it from.
He was raised a wolf.
Which is why it's so stylized, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. I would agree with that. What else was I going to say? I really feel like that's the only criticism.
Yeah, but what I was saying then, those aren't even criticisms. Those are saying, like, for me, it's making sense that it's really, really stylized.
That's how good this movie is. I feel like I had something to say, but I can't quite remember. Hang on, let's just get into how much we loved everything else. Let's go over the cast. Who's your favourite voice actor in this film?
Well, obviously I'm a big Christopher Walken fan, and he did a really good job, but, like, I was really, really surprised with Bill Murray's performance, actually.
Yeah, Bill Murray.
He was really, really good in this film. Like, he just had... First of all, he had some great lines.
You have never been a more endangered species than you are right now.
I know, like, and he delivered them very much to perfection. And even when he had to bring, like, the big, like, chops to certain scenes...
He did that well, too.
He did those things really, really as well. So I was really, really impressed.
It was old Bill Murray. It's like we haven't seen him in a long time. And he does it as a bear.
Stuff a bear. I like this one. Stuff a bear into the Batmobile.
Mr. Sunday Movies 50 Ways That Superman Could Beat Batman. Go check that out. That is not our video. We're not going to claim ownership of that. Yeah, it's excellent. I agree. Bill Murray is also probably my favourite as Baloo. But Ben Kingsley as... Oh my god. Blackout. Can't remember his name.
The Panther.
Yeah.
I've got you. Give me a sec.
Why can I not remember?
Oh, wow.
Bagheera.
Yep.
Ben Kingsley's Bagheera is amazing. Idris Elba as Shere Khan
is fantastic.
Shere Khan, so
He's
menacing,
really good.
Genuinely frightening. The scenes where Bagheera and Shere Khan are either facing off or talking to each other, it really sucks you in. Like, these guys are equals. Like, Bagheera, he's faster, he's probably a little smarter, but he's also weaker. Shere Khan is just stronger and more menacing and more driven as a character. And so they're just such perfect matches for each other. They're both better at different things, and it was really interesting. It was a very interesting character dynamic. Every relationship in this film is really interesting. And I think more than anything, this film, like most films, plots involve a lot of talking to get things started and get things going. You understand a lot about your characters by what they say to each other. Actions speak louder than words, and in this film, I feel like a lot goes into the characters' actions, all these different animals. You can understand where they're at through action and through scenario. It's just something that gets character development done so much quicker and so much more effectively. And Jon Favreau has just got it down pat. I don't know, I can't remember who wrote the script, but less is more sometimes, and it's done really, really well in this film. Do you want me to keep talking while you look that up?
Justin Marks.
Justin Marks wrote the script?
Yeah.
Okay, well, props to him as well. Like, less is more, and it's done so perfectly in this film. Like, I remember thinking 10 minutes in, I'm like, okay, this all makes perfect sense. Oh, that's all the setup done. We're getting into the film. We're actually going along with these characters now. We already understand who they all are and how they all work. Wow. Good job, movie. Good job.
Yeah. And especially the scene where Shere Khan shows up at the wolf's den. And, and he just everyone just stops and watches him. And you're like, okay.
That's brilliant.
What's he gonna do?
You don't need him to say, I am the strongest animal in it, and they all know that by stopping.
Yeah. And and then he just just lies down.
Yeah. He's very sophisticated as a villain. I like it a lot.
And then he just straight murders Akira.
No. I want a pet wolf.
It's brilliant.
Can I get what's a baby wolf called, and can I get one?
It's called a wolf cub.
A wolf cub. Man cub.
Man cub. Bring me the man cub.
I want a wolf cub. Give me one. They're adorable.
Man cub.
Especially when you see
the red flower.
You see Mowgli embracing his mother wolf. I can't remember her name. Just said once in the whole movie. Don't worry about it. And he just does Russia. The wolf thing. Russia. So the heads connect. They do the whole wolf thing. It's like that scene from Dawn of the Planet of the Apes where Caesar and Malcolm do it as well. That does that in this movie. I'm like, oh my god, what the hell is? I remember thinking I thought this after the movie. In the movie, I was just like, oh, that's really sweet. Then after the movie, I was like, no, hang on. What the hell is that kid holding? How is he doing that? How is he displaying such emotion? What is he bouncing off of? Yeah. This is amazing. Yeah. The kid's performance is Neil Sati, I want to say?
Yeah, Sati or something like that.
Sati? Neil is his first name.
Neil Sethi.
Neil Sethi does an excellent job in this film. A lot of it, because he's the only thing being filmed, pretty much. So much of it falls onto his performance as the lead character, and he's been in nothing before, and for him to come up and give the performance he did is amazing. And there are reports of this kid on set. At first he was quiet and humble and kept himself, but the moment they got in the scenes and the more they did it, the more he really started to come out of his shell. As a person, as an actor, he did his job on screen, but he started to come out more and be more and more confident off camera. And it was getting to the point where he'd be like, did I nail that? Yep, nailed it. And be walking around set, having a good time. And it was so amazing to see. And he brings that energy into the film.
You totally saw it.
I didn't see it. I read reports. I'm sorry. Did I give that impression? Did I say that?
Well, you did say you said it was really good to see, talking about something that you clearly had not seen.
What I meant, it was really good to see that energy displayed on the screen. I I don't live in Hollywood. We live in Sydney. I've never been to America. He has.
It was fine.
It was fine. Yeah. Yeah. So
5 out of 7. Needs more water. Do you see how I
there you
combined
go,
two
America.
memes?
Yeah. It's great. Anyway, this kid brings that energy to the film, and he does so well. Remember, and particularly, this is one scene when he's in the river with Baloo, and the water gets sprayed in his face. Baloo spits water in his face. He does this form. Oh, are you serious, mate? Face, and it's genuine. And it's he's splashing water on a Baloo. And when I got home last night, it was after I'd done everything else getting ready for bed. I was like, hang on. That's CGI water. He's splashing CGI water onto a CGI bear that he's sitting on that's CGI. Where the hell is the reference for this kid to get that so right? And he just somehow does it.
Maybe Jon Favreau is just really, really descriptive.
Yeah, maybe he is. I feel is he sitting on one patch of fur?
Jon Favreau is actually just a really good director.
He is a really good director. But it's a patch of fur and then they generate the CGI around it? Or is he just sitting on a green box? And come on.
What?
Oh, don't worry. I thought you were getting dirty.
No.
And then there's that scene where he's
never.
There's that scene after Baloo tells him that he has to leave, and he goes and runs up and sits in his tree on his little plank platform thing that he's built on the top of that branch.
Oh, yeah. That reminds me of something.
Is that real, or is that one little rafty part also CGI with the rest of the tree? I'm where the hell does it begin and end? It's so seamless. And if you think acting in front of a green screen can't be that hard, ask anybody who was in the Star Wars prequels.
Or the new Fantastic Four
movie. They'll tell you it's not easy. You've got nothing to work with. You're staring at the colour green. And not just
actually,
a natural green, it's a blue.
Had a lot of blue screen.
Same concept. You're staring at a colour.
Probably slightly softer. I prefer working in front of a blue screen than a green screen if you just personally.
Your shirt would disappear.
My shirt would disappear, but I probably wouldn't wear a No Money No Honey shirt from Cambodia if I was an actor in a big budget film.
See, I'm an actor. Bagheera never says that in this film.
Oh, my name's Trevor. I'm an actor. Oh, the Mandarin. Spoilers for Iron Man 3.
Spoilers for Iron Man 3. Who cares? It's not a good film. You know what is good? This is a good film though. And Jon Favreau did the first Iron Man.
And the second?
Oh yeah, but that had loads of studio intervention.
Yeah, because they had to set.
Anyway, it was. I lost for words when I think about this movie. It was just so awesome. Ed, what stands out to you the most about this film? I feel like I've been rambling for a while.
You have me. That's alright. I think just for me, performances, they were just really strong. Kind of seeing a new character come on the screen, kind of be like, ooh, I recognise that voice, but I can't quite tell who it is. You guys told me it was Ben Kingsley because I couldn't quite pick it straight away. But then I picked Bill Murray and Scarlett Johansson and of course Morgan.
And you told me that Idris Elba was Shere Khan, so it was working both ways.
Which we got to talk about that in the interview, so I just knew that for a fact.
Oh wow, why didn't I remember that?
I don't know. And yeah, I really like Shere Khan, just a really, really great villain. I thought the final act was really, really good.
Oh yeah, the payoff is amazing.
Yeah. And I think more than the overarching story, there are just these little moments in the movie that just really sell a lot of the character development for me.
Yeah, definitely.
The scene where he rescues the baby elephant out of the trench that's probably the best scene in the entire movie.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And it's just really good.
That's the turning point too.
It really is. It sells Mowgli's character and it gives a lot of character development for the panther.
Bagheera, learns at that point. You can't make him be a wolf. He's not a wolf.
Yeah.
He's a man.
Fight him like a man.
Don't fight him like a wolf. You are not a wolf. You are a man. Fight him like... No, I don't know. Fight him like a man.
Fight him like a man.
And then Neil Sethi just goes... while staring at a green screen. It's so great. Man.
There's a lot of running in this film.
He does do a lot of running. But that was so convincing as well. I was seeing the way he's running along the tree branches and running through the forest, and I'm like, that's how I run at my grandfather's farm when I'm barefoot. That looks and feels real. Which begs the question, what if that was real? What are his feet touching? What are his feet bouncing off of? Because there's like this one point where like sidesteps between branches. Are they like just green poles running along? They're actual branches that they just brought into a studio?
The way I understand, because I've also watched a lot of like motion capture that they do for video games and stuff. If there's any sort of like obstacle or even like change in height, that needs to be accounted for on the set.
Cool.
So yeah, like probably they'll probably just like horizontal or vertical poles to show branches and trunks and stuff.
Wow.
If there's stuff they need to avoid, because I was watching a thing for Order of the 1886, and like there's this scene where they have to go down some stairs.
Yeah.
And they were doing the mocap for it, and they were like, shit, and they had to like build stairs like on this green screen set. I'm like, oh, that's cool.
But it works so well in this film, like it completely draws you in. Like this Jungle Book feels like a world. They completely justified remaking this film. Do we even need to say anything else? Is there anything you want to say?
No, I think so. I'm pretty happy.
What time are we at?
It's like 22, I think.
Okay, that's a good time actually. Yeah. I'm quite happy with that length. The critics are not lying. The box office results say it all. Really, it's performing really well there, and we can't help but agree. And I'm always one to go against the status quo. I like having a different opinion. No, you just going to have the same old opinion as everybody else here. Believe the hype. Believe what everybody is saying. The Jungle Book is amazing. You should definitely go see it. I'm giving it...
And it's going to clean up at the Oscars.
It is going to clean up at the Oscars.
Not so much for like performance stuff, but definitely for technical stuff. It's going to clean up big time.
I'm giving it I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. I actually enjoyed it that much. Ed?
8.5.
8.5?
Yeah.
Fair enough. That's a good number.
Yeah, there's not a lot wrong with the movie, but at the same time, it's not like there aren't a lot of 10s and 9s that I give out. There's actually only one 10 for me, and I won't say what it is.
Okay, we'll save that.
Yeah, we might do that for a future show one day. But like, yeah, it's just like really good. There's not a lot of things that you can fault this movie for, and it's just enjoyable. So, yeah.
It is very enjoyable. All right. That's all we've got for this episode. Thank you so much for joining us today. Have you seen The Jungle Book? Have you not? What are your thoughts on this whole live-action remake of all these classic animated films? Comment below. Get talking. Talk to us. We'll try and respond to you, obviously. Subscribe to the channel if you liked what you've seen here and you want to see more. You can share it. You can like it. Do whatever you want. Whatever features are down there, go check them out. This has been Workle Tiding Productions on YouTube. Was I mumbling?
You can't even pronounce working properly. Yeah. It kind of sound like walk, like there was an L in there somewhere. I'm not entirely sure where, but yeah, it's fine. It'll do.
This is Working Title Productions on YouTube. If you want to find us, you're pretty much already here. What are you doing? Just click the link below.
Boys, Working Title Productions.
You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Working Title YouTube. Ed, where can people find you on Twitter?
At Twitter, I am at Mr. Spaghetti22, and it's up here for you with the capitals and the things. Go there.
The things, and you can find me at Benj Waters01. That's BENJ Water with an S on the end, all in lowercase and 01 on the end.
And that's also along here.
Yep, it is. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and until next time, thank you very much.